Welcome back to the Dinar Daily. For those who have been holding Iraqi dinar, an unprecedented announcement from Chase Bank on September 4, 2025, has sent ripples through the financial community. This is a significant moment that many have anticipated. For years, as one of the world's largest financial institutions, has finally taken a concrete step regarding the handling of this currency. This development is not based on speculation or forum chatter. It is a verifiable change to internal policies that could reshape how dinar holders interact with the U.S. banking system. The sheer size and influence of Chase Bank cannot be overstated. When an institution of this magnitude alters its foreign currency procedures, it often signals a broader trend within the financial industry. Chase is a powerhouse that sets standards and implements protocols that other major U.S. banks like Wells Fargo and Bank of America often observe and later adopt. Their decision to formalize new procedures for the Iraqi dinar suggests a serious institutional response to what they anticipate will be an increase in demand for this currency, driven by Iraq's growing role in global energy and finance. One of the most immediate and impactful changes is the elimination of walk-in exchanges for the Iraqi dinar. This new policy is a departure from previous practices where an individual might have been able to process a transaction at a foreign currency desk on the spot. Now, every single exchange must be pre-scheduled through a formal appointment system, managed by Chase's dedicated foreign currency desk. This shift reflects a strategic move by the bank to manage anticipated high demand, control the flow of physical currency, and ensure compliance with regulatory standards. The appointment-only system is a clear indication that Chase is preparing for a significant increase in transaction volume. Reports suggest that these appointment slots are already being reserved quickly, which means that those who wait too long may face substantial delays. This approach allows the bank to better allocate staff and resources, enhancing security and operational efficiency when dealing with what could be a large number of transactions. For dinar holders, this means that spontaneity is no longer an option. A planned, methodical approach is now essential to the process. Beyond the appointment requirement, Chase Bank has also instituted a much more stringent multi-step identification and verification process. Individuals seeking to exchange dinar must now present valid government-issued identification, such as a passport or driver's license. The bank has also introduced sophisticated technology to authenticate notes, specifically designed to detect counterfeits or older, invalid bills. This technology scans each note in real time, and any bill that is worn, damaged, or from an outdated series is highly likely to be rejected. This emphasis on security and authenticity is a clear response to the risks of fraud, and a sign that the bank is preparing to handle a high volume of transactions with the utmost care. This heightened scrutiny on the quality and authenticity of the dinar notes is a critical point for holders to understand. The new rules specify that only the most recent series of notes issued by the Central Bank of Iraq will be accepted. For those who have held their currency for a long time, this distinction is particularly important, as older notes may no longer be valid for exchange through official banking channels. This policy serves to protect the bank from the risks of counterfeiting while simultaneously reinforcing the importance of having pristine and current issue notes, putting the onus on the holder to inspect their currency before they're scheduled. Appointment. Another significant policy change is the introduction of a daily exchange cap. As a temporary measure, Chase has set a limit of 5 million Iraqi dinars per person per appointment. While this might be seen as an inconvenience for those with larger holdings, it is a strategic move by the bank to control the flow of physical cash and mitigate operational stress. It is designed to prevent a potential chaotic rush of exchanges should the dinar's value shift suddenly. By imposing this cap, Chase ensures a more organized and predictable exchange process, and it also signals that the bank is preparing for a scenario where the value of the currency could change dramatically. The daily cap means that individuals with holdings exceeding 5 million dinars will need to schedule multiple appointments over days or even weeks to fully liquidate their currency. While this may slow down the exchange process, It also confirms the bank's anticipation of heavy traffic and potential volatility. It is a proactive measure to manage risk and maintain stability within the system. For holders, it means that even with a cap, if a revaluation were to occur, the payout could still be substantial, demonstrating that the bank is taking the possibility of a significant shift in value seriously. One of the most revealing aspects of the new policy is the introduction of a floating operational rate. Unlike the static, daily shifting rates typical of most foreign currency exchanges at large banks, Chase has indicated that the dinar exchange rate could fluctuate daily or even hourly. This floating rate is directly tied to international events, market signals, and any adjustments made by the Central Bank of Iraq. This suggests that Chase is preparing for a period of potential volatility and does not want to be caught off guard by sudden changes in the market. For dinar holders, this floating rate introduces a strategic element to the exchange process. The timing of an appointment could now have a direct impact on the final payout. If the currency appreciates quickly, an individual could secure a better rate, but a downward swing could result in a less favorable outcome. This dynamic requires holders to stay informed about market developments and potentially adjust their timing accordingly. The bank's inclusion of this language in its protocols is a strong hint that they are anticipating dynamic conditions in the dinar market and are proactively managing their own risk. To further protect itself, Chase Bank has also implemented a mandatory customer disclosure form that must be signed before any transaction is completed. This document confirms that the customer understands that the exchange rate is subject to change and that the bank bears no responsibility for future price movements of the Iraqi dinar. This is a critical legal measure designed to shield the bank from potential lawsuits or disputes should the currency's value experience a sharp change after an exchange has been processed. By requiring every customer to sign this form, Chase is clearly stating that the responsibility for timing and the outcome of the transaction rests entirely with the individual holder. This disclosure requirement underscores the importance of making informed decisions rather than rushing into exchanges without considering all possible scenarios. It also hints at the bank's legal team preparing for a high volume of transactions and potential volatility, reinforcing the idea that they anticipate larger movements in the currency. For anyone planning to exchange, it is crucial to read and understand these documents carefully, knowing that once the exchange is processed, the outcome is final and non-reversible. The actions taken by Chase Bank are unlikely to remain isolated for long. Reports are already circulating that other major U.S. financial institutions, including Wells Fargo and Bank of America, are closely monitoring Chase's move and may be preparing to implement similar protocols. This is a common pattern in the U.S. banking industry, where one major player's significant policy change often leads to others following suit to ensure compliance, coordination, and risk management across the entire financial system. If these other banks adopt Chase's framework, it would effectively set a new industry standard for how the dinar is handled nationwide. At the same time, Iraq itself is taking significant steps to modernize and integrate into the global financial system. The country has been diversifying its trade currency basket, gradually adding the euro, Saudi riyal, and Jordanian dinar into its framework. This move away from a near-exclusive reliance on the US dollar is a clear signal that Iraq is working to strengthen its financial footing on the international stage. These actions, combined with Iraq's ongoing efforts to secure World Trade Organization membership, provide additional context to Chase's policy changes. Every step Iraq takes toward greater global recognition and credibility strengthens the argument that the dinar is moving toward a new international status. The changes at Chase Bank appear to be a direct response to this progress, with the bank preparing for a potential outcome where the dinar's value may no longer be static. The fact that a major U.S. institution is dedicating resources and creating new structures for this currency indicates that it is taking the possibility of an economic shift in Iraq seriously. This is a tangible sign of progress that goes beyond mere speculation. This confluence of events places dinar holders at a critical crossroads. The single most important question is whether to exchange the currency now, securing today's official rate, or to wait in anticipation of a potential revaluation that could significantly increase the value of their holdings. Exchanging now offers the certainty of a known value and removes the risk of future volatility. This option may be appealing to those who prefer a conservative approach and want to finalize their investment. However, waiting could lead to a payout many times greater than what is available today. Should the dinar appreciate in value, Chase's new policies, particularly the floating rate and the daily caps, strongly suggest that the bank believes a major shift is possible, even if the exact timing remains unknown. The decision on whether to exchange or wait is a personal one, with no guarantees either way. Some may choose to hedge their bets by splitting their holdings, exchanging a portion now to gain liquidity while holding the rest for a potential revaluation. Regardless of the choice, it is vital to approach this decision with a clear strategy and a full understanding of the practical realities of the new system. As interest in the dinar grows, so too do the risks for unsuspecting holders. One of the clearest messages from Chase's updated policies is that only legitimate, verifiable currency will be processed through official channels. This means it is more important than ever to protect oneself from scams, counterfeit notes, and unauthorized dealers. The golden rule is to only use official banks or licensed currency dealers. Under no circumstances should one attempt to exchange through unofficial online platforms or marketplaces, which are known to be hotbeds for fraudulent bills. Presenting counterfeit notes at a bank could lead to immediate rejection and even legal consequences, regardless of whether the holder was aware they were fake. A key precaution for dinar holders is to inspect their notes carefully before their bank appointment. Any bills that are excessively worn, torn, stained, or damaged may not pass Chase's strict authenticity scans. If possible, having the notes authenticated by a licensed dealer in advance can provide peace of mind and help avoid costly surprises. This seemingly inconvenient step is a protective measure designed to filter out bad actors and ensure that legitimate holders are able to proceed with their transactions smoothly. By following these simple precautions, individuals can significantly reduce their risk of being caught in the pitfalls of fraud. With Chase's new rules in effect, the most practical step for dinar holders is to act methodically. The first priority should be to secure an appointment with a local Chase branch for a foreign currency exchange, as walk-ins are no longer an option. Once an appointment is booked, the next step is to organize and inspect the currency itself, ensuring the notes are valid, current, and in good physical condition. Any questionable bills should be set aside and potentially reviewed by a licensed dealer before the bank visit. After preparing the currency, the third critical step is to stay informed on developments daily. As Chase has shown, policies can shift suddenly, and international events could cause rapid fluctuations in the dinar's exchange rate. Staying updated ensures that a holder is never caught off guard. Finally, it is crucial to remain calm and treat this process like any other serious financial decision. The opportunity may be time-sensitive, but panic can lead to mistakes. By preparing, staying calm, and following the new rules, individuals give themselves the best chance of navigating these new circumstances successfully. For years, dinar holders have navigated a landscape filled with unverified rumors and speculation. However, the latest announcement from Chase Bank is not based on hearsay. It is a verifiable policy change that sets a new precedent. The introduction of appointment-only exchanges, stricter verification, daily caps, floating operational rates, and mandatory disclosures represents the first clear signal that the U.S. banking system is actively preparing for a potential turning point in Iraq's currency story. These actions, combined with Iraq's own economic reforms, suggest that something significant is indeed moving behind the scenes. For holders, this moment can be seen as either the start of a controlled opportunity to finally exchange or as the opening signal of a larger wave yet to come. The decision to exchange immediately or to wait for a possible revaluation is a significant one, but in either case, the key is to remain informed, cautious, and proactive. Iraq's financial rebirth is no longer a distant dream. It is a process. that is unfolding step by step, and Chase's policies are a clear reflection of that progress. Avoiding fear and impatience is essential. Instead, using this information to plan wisely, protect assets, and position oneself to benefit from the changes ahead is the best approach. The long wait may finally be showing its first tangible signs of movement.